All right, here's a question. How many times have you actually seen this? You know, you go to one of these crazy TV stations. I'm not going to name any names, like TBN, right? And you see a guy come on out and he starts talking about the healing power of the Lord. As a matter of fact, I was watching Fox News super late at night to get more coverage on Ukraine and so on and so forth. And I saw this guy who said that he wants so desperately to send his healing water to you and a handkerchief for a donation in any amount. Now, that's kind of a surprise because normally they want a bunch of money to send out the water that they package that comes from the tap with some handkerchiefs to say that God's blessing will be poured upon you. And that the water was like in a little tiny tap, like a little tiny, like a blister pack. And like, what do you do with the water? You break it and pour it on yourself or something? I mean, I am getting to the point where it is ridiculous looking at how people are using dashed hopes to take advantage and make a whole bunch of money. So the question that I have to ask is this: does God really heal people? And if he does, how does that actually work? So I just simply want to say this: he does. God absolutely still today heals people. Let me first start by saying how it doesn't work. It doesn't work by faith healers who go out there and say, if you have enough faith, well, then you'll be healed. And then they demand money and they live these crazy lifestyles on the back of people who pretty much give everything that they have so that they can jump in their fancy jets and do all the other stuff that they do. No, I don't believe that. I believe that God truly is a God of healing. And if these guys actually have real healing ministries, then maybe they ought to go to places where people are sick, like go on the streets where homeless people are, or maybe go into hospitals and just declare, God's given me the gift of healing and I want to prove that God is true, and walk in from room to room to room to room, asking for God to heal people and watch God do something miraculous, and everybody go, well, that guy was sick and now he's healed. But they're not doing that because many of them are total and complete fakes. Now, I know that God is healing people on a regular basis because I've watched people get healed when we've prayed for them. I've watched God deliver people from all kinds of physical ailments. But the number one way that God is healing people today is perhaps the most significant, and that is from the sickness of sin. The Bible actually tells us that there is no way we can get into heaven because the only way to get to heaven is by living a perfect life. Perfect, literally obeying the law, every jot and tittle. And not a single one of us have ever obeyed the law perfectly. We've probably broken at least one of the 10 commandments within the first few months of our lives, to be honest with you. We are all going to hell if it's based on our own works. But God has chosen to heal us through the sacrifice of his son on the cross, so that one day we will be able to wear the perfect robe of righteousness. That is the robe that Christ wore when he walked on this earth. Not literal robe, we're talking metaphorically, but we get credit for the perfect life that Christ lived, and we would one day get credit to the point where God would say, well done, good and faithful servant, and allow us to come in. That's what real healing is, folks. And yes, does God heal us physically? Absolutely. But the more miraculous healing that happens is he heals us spiritually. He brings us from death to life, where we experience salvation. And that is incredible. By the way, we're going to talk about that today and much more for this Sunday morning service, first, second, and third service. You can catch any of them live. Of course, we'll always keep one available for re-airing. And then tonight, we continue on with Bible prophecy as we continue exploring through the minor prophets. So it's going to be a good one, you guys. God bless you. And we'll attach those Bible studies to the screen here if you're watching on YouTube. And then we'll put them in the show notes for those of you watching in any other places. God bless you guys. Keep fighting the good fight, and happy Sunday.